What's up everybody, I am Jaspreet Singh and welcome to the Minority Mindset. As an entrepreneur, your job is to create value so people want to open up their wallets and give you money in exchange for your value. But as a person, your goal is to keep your money in your wallet, that way you can invest your money and grow it. So you can start to see that there's a little bit of a discrepancy between the two. So today, I want to talk about spending because everybody says spending makes the world go round. First, let's start with some background information. Why do people say that? Why do people say spending makes the world go round? I mean, I thought it was gravity and the sun that makes the world go round. Well, let's say you work a regular job and you get paid every 2 weeks, and one day after you get paid, you're driving home, and on your drive home, you see a billboard next to the road that's advertising my socks. You really like the way my socks look, so when you get home, you go on your computer and you go on my website, you pick which socks you want to buy, you choose your size, and then you make an order, and then in about a week or so, the socks will show up on your doorstep. Yeah, you paid me money for the socks, but you did a lot more than put some money in my wallet. Let's not forget about all the businesses and people that made this transaction possible. I needed a website builder to build and manage our online store, and so you're keeping them in business. When you purchased our socks, there was an online credit card processing system, and so when you buy our product, you're keeping those engineers in business. I have a designer and a photographer who provide new content for our website, and so you're keeping them in business. We have a manufacturer for our socks, so you're keeping our manufacturer in business, and our socks are made of cotton, so you're keeping the cotton farmers in business too. And these businesses and people are just the immediate people that are affected in this food chain. Don't forget about all the secondary and tertiary businesses that are involved as well, like the people that sold tires to the delivery company, or the real estate developer who built the manufacturing building for the manufacturers. I almost forgot. Don't forget about what Benjamin Franklin said. There are two things certain about life: death and taxes. When you buy your socks, you also have to pay sales tax, which keeps the government alive. So this list goes on and on and on. I think you're starting to see why spending is important to keep the economy functioning properly. And now that we understand the business side of the equation, let's flip things up and look at the consumer side of the coin. If you make $4,000 a month from your job and you spend $1,200 of that on your rent, $600 on your car and insurance, another $200 on eating out and just doing fun things, and then just another $1,000 on things here and there, and then you take your last $1,000 and you save and invest that, you're doing things right. You're building your wealth and you're growing the economy. This is what we should want to see. You're spending money, which incentivizes entrepreneurs to innovate and create businesses and create more jobs, and at the same time, you're building your wealth. I'm so proud. The problem arises when somebody's making $4,000 a month and their expenses add up to $4,400 a month. So this scenario is actually something that we saw in the early 2000s when people were making money and then they were getting approved to buy these huge lavish homes, even though they couldn't really afford something that big. It was partially because the big banks were telling people that, hey, don't worry, you'll be able to sell your home for more than what you bought it for, no problem. It's an investment and you're guaranteed to win. And well, at the same time, people like instant gratification. When we want something, we want it now. And it was great. I mean, people were loving it. They were getting these huge mansions, they were living large, and at the same time, banks were loving it too because they were giving out more debt, and more debt means more spending, and more spending means more profits, so it was a win-win for everyone. And this just kept happening. We just kept piling on this debt and spending, debt and spending, debt and spending, and it got to a point where we spent just a little bit too much, and people were, well, they were kind of too deep. I mean, some people were making $4,000 a month with $5,000, $6,000, even $8,000 in expenses a month, and we realized it just a little bit too late. And then Oops. And this led to an entire economic collapse because then people didn't have money to pay back their mortgages. So banks didn't have any money to lend or anything like that. So people stopped spending. So businesses stopped growing and they couldn't hire people and they actually had to let a lot of people go. So it was just one big downward spiral. It was a very painful mistake and thankfully we learned our lesson. I mean, now schools are finally starting to teach kids about personal finance and the value of a dollar and how debt works. People are starting to live below their means more and more. They're saving and investing more of their money, and big businesses are being a lot more cautious about who they lend money to and how they spend money and how much money they're lending out. Oh wait, no, sorry. We didn't learn a thing. In 2017, America broke a record for the total amount of credit card debt in the history of time. I mean, we've already passed the early 2000 levels for credit card debt. Kids in school are still not being taught personal finance or budgeting or spending or investing or saving or basic debt management. It's becoming easier to qualify for a bigger loan, even if it's a high interest and high risk loan. 8 out of 10 Americans are living in debt, and don't even get me started on student loan debt. Spending is good and it's necessary. It allows us to buy the things that we want, and at the same time, it incentivizes entrepreneurs to create and to innovate and to build businesses that employ other people. So spending is good, but over leveraging too much of a good thing can make it bad. I mean, it's kind of like if you ate too much of your little brother's birthday cake, but before every spoon of the cake, you ate a spoonful of sugar. So if we over leverage our spending with trillions and trillions of dollars worth of debt, yeah, at first it'll be great, but if things go bad, it could be really bad. And you know, we try to ignore it as long as possible. I mean, it took us years and years to really realize what was happening in the real estate market. If and when things go bad, there will be losers. Don't let yourself be in that position, so take care of yourself right now. Meaning, on one hand, live below your means. Take care of your finances, invest and save some of your money, and on the other hand, create a side income or a business that allows you to generate more revenue. We can't rely on salespeople to tell us what we can afford, and we cannot rely on other people or the government to take care of us financially. We gotta do that, and most of us are never taught these things, so we gotta put in that work ourselves. If you are interested in learning more, we have an ebook on money and investing. It's completely free, and you can read it on our website by clicking the link up here or by clicking the link in the caption below. So what do you think? Are we overspending or not? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up button and share it with one friend so we can help spread the word. Every single week we release new videos on entrepreneurship, business, and money. So if you don't want to miss them, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you actually find out when our new videos are released. And as always, keep hustling.